Welcome back to Mind Design. Really excited about this specific pouch series just because from our years of feedback, trying to get polls at conferences, online, everything we could pretty much talk to you through the email list, every avenue. One of the most important things that we've heard from y'all is actually a true glove dispenser pouch. So not just me looking into it and saying, okay, let's just make something that's really simple. I wanted to make sure that if I did something new, that's gonna be a lot better. So this specific pouch here does more than just, dispensing gauze and gloves. It has a couple different features that are similar to the Firefly. We'll get into that, but also it just kind of takes us into the next step of product evolution. And this new pouch is that next part of the series with how we're just trying to continuously evolve our products, especially with the new clear X-Pack fabric that we're rolling with here. So excited just for y'all to come into this series and kind of go into the details of what goes into making this specific pouch.
All right, welcome back. We're actually going to do the glove dispenser pouches. Just a quick overview of actually our two new fabrics here. So on the right, looks like regular black, but it's actually our partners at EcoPack. This is EPX 300 RS, and the RS stands for ripstop. So when you actually look close into the pouch fabric, you're going to see a nice square grid, and that's what kind of the ripstop helps do. And it's also super lightweight, very strong, and also 100% recycled components. This is my new favorite of this year. So this fabric that looks shiny, semi-clear is actually called X-Pack UX10. Features a Ultra 100D front face and is extremely tough and extremely lightweight. So between the two, can't go wrong, but we also had a lot of feedback of people wanting to have a semi-clear pouch option, and it's the reason why we brought on UX10. Contents for the pouches, so when you get, no matter what color, each is going to come with two patches if you want to distinguish what you have inside of it. So you can have your gloves pouch, or say that it's just a gauze pouch, and if you don't want these on here, this Velcro panel is approximately 2x3. But quick note, if you are trying to attach the mini dispenser to this panel, it is a little bit smaller than the Firefly one, so it's going to be a little bit tricky to get really good attachment onto it. And also if you put the mini dispenser on here, it might impede on the elastic dispenser portion. Also, the Nexus logo here, we do have a little bit of elastic here, so you can run chapstick through it, nail clippers, other items. Another feature we added on here to kind of distinguish it was that we actually put in side moly webbing, so you could put your pen lights, pens, tape holders are actually compatible with this too. And similar to the Firefly, we actually put on the same scissor holder, same scissor pocket, but we actually added an extended nylon sleeve for easier rip on and off access. If you don't need the actual scissor pocket, you can actually just fold it in and it'll be invisible. Also on the back, as you're noticing here, the glove dispenser pouch is going to actually come with two sets of different moly clips. For most of you all that have our older products, you're familiar with our standard moly clip, but we also included the moly locks on here. So later on this series, we're going to get into why we actually have to have two different sets of moly clips for this specific pouch. So very specific and very important detail you have to note here with the glove dispenser pouch. We do have the Firefly mounted on just as another reference option, because the Firefly, like our glove dispenser pouch, comes with the older moly clips. If you're going to try to attach this to the side of Nemesis, you must use specifically the moly clips just because they have a better fitment on the side here. And a very important thing to note is that if you have a Nemesis from the 2024 batch, the moly lock clips will not fit in the side. A future Nemesis batch will actually have wider webbing here, but again, specifically the moly clips will mount onto here very good. Moly locks, if you saw in a previous video with the mini dispenser pouch, this moly lock will not get through the most rear column webbing here, but on this side. So again, it's just easier on our end to give you all both different sets of mile stocking locking mechanisms. If you want to try doing them in different ways, feel free to do so, but just for a more accurate fitment, yeah, the regular moly clips are going to fit on the side of Nemesis better. But you're more than welcome to use the actual moly locks. You can actually remove the old moly clips, put the moly locks in the back of the glove dispenser pouch, and it will actually mount onto the front, side, anywhere in DV2 perfectly fine with the moly locks. And you'll notice that the moly locks are easier, they're more secure, and they actually mount on a lot faster. All right, so key things to note about when actually trying to get out your items from these two pouches. The UX10 white one here is a little bit gloves. Our EPX 300 in black is loaded out with gauze. Whether you're at loading out gauze or gloves, in here I don't have the massive amount of pairs, but you can load up to 20 actual individual gloves in here. But if you overload it, you will notice when trying to pull out gloves from this pouch, that it might be a little bit difficult. So that's one of the reasons why in my specific loadout here, I didn't max it out, just because when everything is so deeply compacted and items are pushing against each other, it's gonna be a little bit tricky to get them out there. But in any case, so you can pretty much load this out to the max of around 20 pairs of gloves or 20 individual gloves. But this also depends on your size of gloves too. So if you have XL, you'll probably have to go down to, let's say, 15, 12 individual gloves. Gauze, same thing. I didn't load it out to the max in here. What I'm using is actually the 4x4 ply, 4x4 gauze. Maybe there's around 12 different pieces in there. You can overload it pretty heavy, but again, if it's maxed out, it's going to be difficult to actually pull them out, just because all those items pressing against each other will make it difficult to get them out. So just key things to note about these two specific pouches and how they can be used. One of my favorite things I actually plan to do with my specific loadout is you can actually mount them each on the side of DV2 or Nemesis and have just a pouch dedicated for gauze, or have a pouch dedicated just for gloves. So just want to add some more options for y'all.